Hello, everyone. I want to welcome you, our guest and our panelists, to our fourth webinar in GoGlobal project. First of all, I hope you can hear me and you can see me. So if any of our guests could write something in a chat box, I would be grateful, because we know that we can see each other with panelists, but I want to know if you can see me as a guest. So maybe Michalina, you can write something in the chat. Yes, yes, great, thank you. So first of all, I want to thank you all for being here today with us. We are going to have 1 hour with our guests, with our panelists, who we are, because not all of you can know who we are from our guest list. So we are the ITCorner. We are a cluster of over 90 IT companies from Poland. And basically, we are a platform of exchange of knowledge and experience between our member companies and between companies, business, and other organizations. And what we are going to do today here is one of our activities that is focused on this exchange of knowledge. So this project, GoGlobal Webinars, is CEO funded by Polish Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and it is run in a project called Public Diplomacy: A New Dimension. Its main goal is to bring together experts from Germany, Poland, and Finland. Today we will have panelists from Poland and Germany, but in the previous webinars we had also guests from Finland. And we want to focus on exchange of knowledge between our countries and between people who are doing businesses in our countries. Let's meet today's panelists. All of the companies that you are going to hear today are members of ITCorner. So we will have Andreas from Vialutions. They will start. We will have Nikolai from Setup.pl, and we will have Pavel, who is representing 2 companies, Test Revolutions and Bug. So I will share a screen with you because I want to show you agenda of our today's meeting. So we will start with me. I will finish in 2 minutes, I hope. Then we will go to Vialutions and guests from Poland and Germany, because Andreas Pauling is here in Poland, in Wrocław, and Andreas Hepfner is in Germany. Then we'll go to Pavel from Bug and Test Revolutions, and we'll finish with Nikolai from Setup.pl. After the 3 presentations, speeches, we will have some time for Q&A sections. So I introduce you and invite you to ask questions. You can write them in Q&A section or in a chat box. So we'll pick the most interesting one and ask our guests. So once again, who we are going to talk today. And yeah, we can start, and I will ask Andreas to start. The stage is yours.
Okay. Yeah, hi to everybody. My name is Andreas Pauling. I'm a managing director at Vialutions Spółka, a limited company in Poland. We are a software development house based in Wrocław. This is 150 kilometers to the east from the German border. Since 10 years, we do develop individual software solutions for our business clients. Clients based all over Europe, including Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Denmark, France, Czech Republic, of course, Poland, but also UK or then overseas in the USA. Our Spółka does this together with German Vialutions GmbH and my partner, Andreas Hepfner. Andreas, you're also there, right?
Yes, my name is also Andreas Hepfner. I'm the managing director of Vialutions GmbH based in Berlin. So it's 300 kilometers from Wrocław, far away. And as Andreas said, we both do work together in Violutions for 10 years already. Our domain is digitalization of all kind of business in our customers. Either office-based as well as a production close to solutions for factories. Our slogan is to get a less paper office. The notified slogan, paperless office, is not possible yet, as well all know from daily experience.
Yeah. A good question from the audience might be, why Poland, why Wrocław? Why did we choose exactly this location? Well, Wrocław has a very good name as a university location. Lots of pretty good educated IT students and then also experienced IT staff can be found here. And all of them excellent English speakers. Thanks to those universities, the stream of educated IT guys does not run out so far. Due to this fact, also other big players in the IT business like IBM, Google, Nokia, Atos, or Credit Suisse, Hewlett Packard, and many others are located here. Well, this is challenging to compete with them for good IT people. And that was, by the way, also one of the main reasons to create ITCorner, a cluster for small and medium IT companies to gain better visibility on the market. With ITCorner, we definitely found more customers' attention and wider scalability. And if a customer needs different IT know-how than we, Violutions, can deliver, then we can supply all that very quick and professional with the supporting partners from ITCorner.
Yeah, and on the other hand, Poland is a part of the European Union. This is very important for our customers, since guarantees a common base of standards for law, like intellectual property. Also human rights standards or employees or social standards. Not to forget the similar accounting standards all over Europe for invoicing and also line banking. In fact, to be the honest, bank transfers between Germany and Poland were a few years faster than inter-German bank transfers. Typically, transfer amounts are settled already at the next business day.
Yeah, I'm living now here in Poland over 12 years. And also important to say is that Polish culture is very close to German culture or other European nations. There's a much easier and more regular understanding with a Polish developer compared to offshore IT locations like India, Russia, Indonesia. Well, and personally, I have to admit, I like also very much Polish food and cuisine.
Yes, it's true. And yes, I would like emphasis that such nearshore model is excellent approach for small and medium-sized companies. They cannot afford their IT to maintain offshore development teams. Also, we talk for small and medium clients about dozens of developers, not of hundreds of developers, like SAP or IBM, that are needed. In any case, with ITCorner, there's a quite good scalability in terms of business domains and technology. We as Violutions are specialized in Microsoft.NET backends and TypeScript or Angular frontends. But ITCorner extends this by all kinds of IT know-how you can imagine.
And we are located in Central Europe. Same time zone, no problems with border time meetings in the early morning or late evening, like with India. You can reach us here in Wrocław all your business day. This also eases the idea of outsourcing of IT support.
Yes, but I have to admit, Wrocław is easy to reach from Berlin by car, as well as from other destinations by plane. It was also important for our customers to see that we have a real office in Poland and not just a basement or garage company.
Yes, we are even used to travel by train to Berlin to Berlin-based customers for one-day trip forth and back. This is no problem. However, with COVID pandemic, that changed. Actually, we are mainly meeting online at the moment. Well, a good example is this event today. And also within the company itself, remote work is established, as most employees are in home office. But this was our business model anyway. Development and test in Wrocław, remote deployment on customer premise on the cloud. So this was no big change for us.
Yes, our customers need some time to adapt to this situation in the beginning of this year with the pandemic. With the public lockdown in Europe, our clients were a bit insecure how to react. Suddenly, project budgets were mainly frozen. But now we see merely positive signs. The number of requests are rising and the demand of growing again. New and existing clients do understood how to work remotely, and employees do not necessarily have to present in the office. To be honest, this changed client mentality help us now to cope with customers.
Absolutely. Our Polish as well as other European customers are getting more flexible right now. As we have also experienced in the banking domain, an example. Financial institutes mainly wanted that in the past the consultants, developers on-site at their premise. And this definitely has changed by now. On the other hand, we are present also in the healthcare domain, and there this collaborative remote working model was accepted from the very beginning of the solutions among different customers. Right now, for instance, we implement a healthcare solution with a Berlin-based startup company. Business analysts, developers, as well as testers. This project lasts here in exactly this remote model. For our German customers, normally at the solutions, we split the online consulting, which is delivered by the GmbH, and the development and testing, which is mainly provided by the GoGlobal. But Andreas, question to you, do you think that for German customers, it is still necessary having a German GmbH as primary contract partner, or is direct contracting and invoicing with the GoGlobal more accepted?
10 years ago, I would say without a GmbH you leased for sale or marketing, it would be tough to enter the German market. But nowadays, clients do not have a barrier anymore. I think the grown and the meantime widely accepted. The European idea is helpful. Also, I said before, banking accounting is aligned, and employees with German IT departments typically are quite skilled English speakers by now, making communication easier and reliable. Since we involve our customers in our agile development approach as a product owners, they directly speak to our IT specialists. So absolutely necessary is a good initial description of specification of the requirements or required solution. In some cases, we also help our customers in a pre-project phase in order to define the specification or build a work backlog in this space.
Yeah, correct. That is important. We also can help our customers describing their specific solution. A few times we were able to define out of customer specific project some general solution. That is interesting for other clients as well. One example is the Illusions vKaizen solution, a simple and intuitive Kaizen process. Originally, we developed this specifically for our customer Toyota in Poland, but now we have established vKaizen, a cross-domain solution, which is also useful in the domain of healthcare or banking or other productive domains out of automotive. As a conclusion, I'm working with Andreas now in the solutions for more than 10 years, cross-border. I believe this approach is working very well, and we are a good team and can help you getting IT solutions that suit your business. Feel free contacting us if you have any specific question how to create or operate in such a cross-border model. You find the illusions in LinkedIn, and there's also lots of interesting posts and activities around this topic.
Yes, and additionally in Germany, you will find us in Sing as well. So do not hesitate to contact us. Yeah, so at last I can say thanks for the measurement or danke für das Vertrauen.
Thanks, Jakob. Back to you.
Yes.
Oh, great, guys. You are like faster. You just made it in 13 minutes. So I think 1 minute you have 1 minute extra. So if we have any questions from our audience, I just encourage you to write down it in a chat box or in a Q&A section. So yeah, this is a very interesting also for me as a person who is working in ITCorner, that companies are choosing those two locations and are deciding to open actually physical offices and then divide the time between those two localizations. So it is very interesting, and I think what we can discuss later on, the new situation when you have this like ongoing problem with borders opened, closed, COVID situation. I meant this is, I think, a challenge, especially for you guys. And we have a lot of we have other companies in ITCorner that are closely cooperating with Germany and Austria. And I know from the fact that many of them are traveling a lot. So I think that, yeah, we will get back to this topic later on. I see, Andras, you're smiling. Is it about the question?
Yeah, there's a question. What Polish cuisine I like most? I didn't expect that kind of question, but anyway. Side, it's a tough, I would say, placek po węgiersku.
Which has węgiersku, which means Hungarian. So this is funny. So, okay, guys, we will get back to this question later on. And now I want to, I just have a quick look. Pavel, the stage is yours. I invite you to a stage, and also this is very interesting because your topic is closely connected with what we were talking about a few minutes ago. So, Pavel, please have a mic.
Jakob, I hope you can hear me very well. My presentation will be a bit different. I mean, there will be only a monologue, so you need to concentrate only in me and especially in my presentation. So give me a second to share with you the screen. I hope now you can see it. No trips and tricks.
Yeah, but
you should be visible now.
Yeah, you can go to full screen mode because you can also see your tabs and what you are working currently on. Yeah, great. Thank you.
All right. This is the agenda for my presentation today. Shortly, I will start with small marketing about Backback. Then a short marketing about myself. I will try to give you a short overview why I'm speaking about this topic and what is so interesting in this year. In the end of the presentation, I hope you will see the typical differences between this, what happens as an online, as an offline conference. In the end, I will try to answer the main question, if this is a game over for this kind of traditional trade fairs. And I will give you some tricks and tips how to be prepared to the online conference better. Hopefully you will like it. So that's just the beginning. Backback is Backback and Test Revolution, in fact, are the same companies. I mean, Test Revolution is the company, Backback is the first product of the company. So we created as a tool. This should be the best tool for software developers and software testers. Especially for these people that are familiar with problems in end-to-end testing. This software solves a lot of problems. Our clients are software houses and software product companies. As I promised, we save up to 70% of software testers' time. So hopefully this is a kind of guarantee. Simply try it out. This is also a software as a service with premium options. There are some main interesting advantages of the software. here under this link, I also prepare a short movie for you, but I'm not sure if we have enough time. Jakub, give me an answer. Do we have 1 minute for the short animation movie, or should I?
Yes, of course. If it's going to work, because we didn't practice it. Oh yeah, it's working. So great.
I hope for this is something like this. I will make a post.
Is testing all your apps a lot of work? Are end-to-end tests too expensive? What if I told you there's a tool that can not only speed up the process, but also take care of this issue for you? Here's Bug, your new best coworker. Bug is a tool that will help you create test automations by recording what you do in your browser. We've checked. Bug saves up to 70% of a tester's time. All that you recorded can be easily edited and run on your computer or in the cloud. And the clear test graphs, as well as supporting continuous integration, is really the icing on the cake. And when you are open to start, just click More. Excellent. Now you can do anything you want in your free time. You could go on a refreshing walk in a park, or do something more active at the gym. And when you're back at your computer, all the tests will have already been done. Bug, revolution in end-to-end software testing.
All right, that's enough from Bug. Let's come back to the presentation. As I mentioned on the beginning, we try to make Bug as a global player, and that's the story began on the beginning of this year. Now we are on the phase that we extensively promote this. We are going with a lot of trade fairs, conferences, and also other commercial events. And this is the purpose what I have now a good time also to share with you the story about what happens if the trade fairs move to be online. In case you want to have more information about Bug, feel free to visit our website or social media, test it, and you will probably like it. Come back to me. Why I will speak about Germany, the answer is because I spent some years there. I studied there, I lived there. 2010, 2011, I come back to Poland, established here several companies, but still I was involved in business with German companies or in Germany. I was in medium-sized companies, in bigger corporation as a director, expansion director. So this is more or less the story. You can find me on LinkedIn to see more details. I think for this webinar, the most important thing will be this, what I want to show you with this image. I just made it. It is simply the experience from last 3 years. 2 years, I think. I remember I stopped the count after 100 conference when I was as an exhibitor, visitor, presenter, or whatever. It was simply so natural for me that, especially in these months that are March or September, I have 1 month to travel that I simply get to use. That was the story till 2020. This year, especially as we, oh, sorry, I forget to tell you one thing. If you are interested in trade fairs, whatever it will bring the next year, this is a pretty good book that I read it first time when I was just after study and go deep in this topic. Don't forget about it, that in the end of the day, profit count and how to make trade shows or events profitable. This is not so complicated. It's pretty easy to learn. And if you plan to do it, first read some books, and this is one that I recommend. This is the short overview about what happens this year with the trade fairs. All of them were online. All of them we participate. Of course, the coronavirus make them online. 3 of them were in Germany. They're a pretty specific one because Pirate and Bits and Pretzels are not typical German trade fairs, are more in startups. So this is not something that is connected with heavy industry in Germany or something that is not traditional one. If to mention, this is the general approach that I want to share with you. That the main difference between online and offline is on this small scratch. I mean, if you cannot connect with the people directly, you need to find another way how to make a deal, or how to meet new possible clients. And the face-to-face communication was always the most, in my opinion, most successful one. You see the non-verbal communication, you have much better overview, you can interact a bit better. Now, as soon as everything moves online and we have an internet connection, video communication is this what we see as equivalent to this face-to-face communication, and it is working pretty well. But this is not cover 100% all this what you can do if you meet someone face-to-face. On the next slides, I will show you what is the real advantage of this online conferences. And in one topic, I would like to go a bit deeper, but let's get started first with the budget. I compared the spending on online and offline conferences 1 year to another year. And what I saw is almost 10 times. Sometimes it could be even more cheaper than go offline. For sure, there's another cost option like traveling, like sending the equivalent. If you exhibit with machines, this could be extremely expensive. In online world, everything is extremely cheap. Also, no problem. I mean, on exactly the same days, people that turn on your computer, open your laptop, and move on. This is a huge advantage in general. Another one is this. I wrote it that is less time consuming, but in the end of the day, it was impossible to visit conference after conference, because you need also to get in better mood to relax a bit. With online conferences, it's completely different. You can make even 2 conferences at the same time. Sometimes there's only a few hours that you spend there. You forget about the traveling, booking a hotel, take a lunch, everything do as day like usual, and this is extremely cool in this times. I really enjoy it, especially now as I became a father. I could spend much more time than in the last years at home. So this is a big advantage of this online conferences world. Another one which I would like to evaluate a bit more, this is this easier matchmaking. I realized different trade fairs, as they move online, they decide to different software to make this matchmaking as a most important thing in all these conferences and all these trade fairs should be organized, and very depend of the software that they choose. It was easier or more difficult, but anyway, always it was always, as I compare it to the offline trade fair, which was more easier to make more contacts. One, because it forces you to make these contacts in terms you have only limited time, like 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, and then to switch you to another one, to the random person that you never had option to meet in the real life. It was excellent. I never expect on one conference, I even have a pleasure to speak. I cannot say I'm a friend, but I speak for 5 minutes with Shaquille O'Neal. This is the famous basketball player who is also a VC founder. And he was on the conference. This is something that in normal conference will be extremely difficult. With this online work, this is working. The last 2 points that I figured out are maybe connected to the personality. If someone is introverted, this is not easy to be at the conference, speak with the people, make this contact, and make this all sales work that should be done to finally finish the deal. I think, this is my opinion, online conferences make it easier because it's less stress, it's pretty nice to sit down at home. You can feel good, even you can take something to drink that you like. You don't care too much about the rest, and you can concentrate totally in your future business partner, your client, or someone that you speak. That's the online advantages. That's the end of the story. What is so cool? This is the disadvantage work. What I realized, and this is something that maybe someone of you in discussion have different opinion. But what I saw, a lot of people don't take this value of this online conferences and see it as something additional that is not so important, and they don't care about it. As a speaker, they don't care about how they prepare to this, how they dress up. As a viewer, they have a lot of options to choose another stage. In a second, they can switch. And so I saw many times that people simply don't value this online conferences. Maybe this also because the point with the budget, if they pay less, so they don't concentrate too much. If you invest thousands of euro in 2 days of conference that was offline, you maybe concentrate much more. I don't know the real reason behind, but I mentioned this what I realized. Another point I wrote here, this is a multitasking versus attention. Very often happens that during these online conferences, people don't get this. It's very difficult to grab their attention. I mean, they have so many different options to switch off or go to another stage or do whatever you want. I'm pretty sure that now we have 35 participants, and I'm pretty sure that half of you doing something extra listening to this webinar. This is simply the human behavior. If you sit in the front of the computer, you can do whatever you want. I mean, checking social media or whatever. This is something that makes, in my opinion, business and all this online conferences not so effective and successful. Another point, it's as I mentioned, depend on the application that the organizer either side. But sometimes I realized that this is it was extremely stupid. You have very limited time, or you have very limited option to contact with someone. And imagine if you have a client and you can speak with him only in 3 minutes, and you see, okay, this is someone interested in your products, or you are interested in his product, and the software cut out automatically because switch you to another one, and you have no contact left. So something like this happens. This is also a story that I saw it's getting better and better. So this is maybe a point that will not happen anymore if the applications that are paid and also to organize learn. For them, it was very often also a first or second conference that they organize online, so they learn on the mistakes. Next point, in my opinion, is very difficult to build a good relationship with someone that you meet only online. If you had a relationship or you met him before offline, to keep it, it's pretty possible and easy in this online meetings. But build something like, some businesses required a long relationship buildings, and I think this is extremely difficult in online. I don't have this problem. I mean, with a software as a service product, this is not the case. But if you are in the industry that relationship is important to close the deal, I'm afraid it will be not so easy to do it only with the online world. The two other points, and only something that I especially really like it during this conferences, after parties was very often a point where you meet the most interesting people and then make the most interesting deals. Now some of the organizers try to do it. I see this is a kind of funny stuff. You sit if you go to the room that is calling after party, everyone have a kind of something to drink, and then you speak with them. But this is the same story that I mentioned before. The contacts are very limited. People don't have the attention that usually if you stay at the party with someone, at least if you don't like you, but he need to focus on you for a few minutes. Here in this online world, this is a bit different. And the rest point, which I take as a critics for online conferences, too much random people, and content very often make too big. I mean, the organizers probably know that they need to offer something to be attractive, and very often realize there are too much content on the one place, and you need to concentrate to make a business or get new things. It was really difficult to find out really this what you are looking for. And here is a short story that maybe I call it a tips and tricks that you can take as a takeaway from this webinar, or the online conference. First, this matchmaking is really extremely cool thing. This is working, especially in this online world, and you need to concentrate on this. Simply be prepared. If you are going to conference to have new knowledge, don't do matchmaking. If you want to have new contacts, concentrate more in matchmaking. This is something like trade-off, this or this. I also recommend you to list LinkedIn. Xing is a German one, but a bit outdated. But you can later follow on with, as soon as the application of organizer will be closed, you can make a follow-up on LinkedIn. The story, check what you have behind you, what is the background, what kind of ads you can place there. This is something that maybe helps you out also to place your AdWords about your company or your products behind you, that people will remind you. I realize some of them use this a custom-made background with the blur. This is not, the technology is not so good, so you don't look very good at this screen. So maybe think about the backgrounds or something like this. Internet connection, this is also something that should be better. Usually I struggle on this. Now I'm changing third time already my internet provider and it's still not optimum. So this is something maybe that you for these conferences. I realize a lot of speakers didn't know that this is very limited time and you need to focus into 3 minutes, tell what you want, and then listen this that your opposite side have to tell you. I mean, in my opinion, listening is much more important to talking in general, but in this matchmaking, if you have very limited time, you need to be sure how your intro is going and how you get the information from your potential partner or client. Another tip, push how you can go to the stage. A lot of companies before invest in build extremely cool stages. Now this is not necessary. Now the voice is on the stage. If you are there and if you make a show, this will be have very positive impact on your business. That's the 6 tips and tricks that I recommend you. This is the end and the last presentation, or at least the last slide of my presentation. In my opinion, this is not the end of the traditional trade fairs. Of course, if the coronavirus situation will be the same, simply will be forbidden. But we assume there will be not the same in the next year. So the trade fair industry will need a bit to adopt. My opinion is, in case the industry will like to organize the trade fairs, they will need to take something which was good in this online conference, like matchmaking, or like depend of the industry what you present, make it a bit cheaper. But maybe the best way will be a kind of mix of online and offline. I mean, even some years ago, I was involved in a startup, Network Health, that was a kind of software for make networking easier. So maybe this is also an option, that this matchmaking, networking, you make in advance before the real conference started. Then you go meet face to face, try to make your relationship, your business, and that's maybe the future. Also, the traditional trade fairs are depend of the goals on the industry. In some of this industry, like I wrote here, automotive, is probably impossible to make it online, but in some, like in IT, maybe there will be a standard trend. This is something that will probably happens in the next year. What will be, we will see. That's in general the end of the presentation. Here, as a last slide, I will show you maybe in case the coronavirus will not stop in the next year, there will be a solution that you are going in a virtual room and you feel that the person is close to you. Think about it. That's all. So I wish you a good webinar. Thank you for your attention. I'm stopping to share now the screen.
Thank you, Pavel. Yes, so Nikolai, I think we will give you the time that was like a kind of used by Pavel because I didn't want to interrupt you, because I think all those tips were very interesting, and I think we all now are struggling with this problem of lack of attention, internet connection. As you were making your presentation, we had at least one problem with the screen, and it cut you, and you were frozen for a second. And don't worry, I think the flow of your speech was held. So yeah, this is. I think that we can discuss this in the panel section. So now, without further ado, I would like to introduce Nikolai, who will, I hope, unmute himself. Okay, great.
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can
okay.
hear you, we can see you. We can see the presentation.
Great, thank you, Jakub. So I hope you can see also my presentation in full screen.
No,
hopefully.
we can see your. Oh yeah, now it's great, great. Now,
okay.
now we can see again the mountains.
Okay, just hang on a second. Need to switch the screens probably. Yeah, so now you can see the mountains, and what about now?
Yeah.
Can you see the presentation?
Yes, great.
Okay, and full screen, yes? Okay,
yes.
So sorry for that. Hello and hallo and dzień dobry to everyone. Thanks for having me, Kuba and ITCorner. Yeah, I would like to give you a short introduction or an idea on how everyday Polish-German cooperation looks like with SetupPL. My name is Nikolai Schlickowitz. I'm the legal and project manager at SetupPL. And although I grew up in Poland, I originally come from Munich. And yeah, hence German-Polish cooperation happens at SetupPL on everyday basis. I hope I can give you some ideas and overview about it. If you have any questions, just hit me on in the chat, and I will try to answer them. So today I will briefly tell you about us and what distinguishes us in terms of Polish-German cooperation, and then I will move on to the benefits and difficulties of multinationalism and Polish-German cooperation. Yeah, so about us, SetupPL as a e-commerce agency, we support Polish businesses in expanding internationally in e-commerce, and we are based in Wrocław and in Berlin, and we help Polish companies in, for example, company setup in Germany, but that's only some side product. Mostly we do help in expanding on several marketplaces like eBay, Amazon, and we also are exclusive partner of Plentymarkets in Poland, which I will talk about a little bit later. And we also are the only omni-channel agency in Poland, and I will give you an overview on what omni-channel means to us and to our customers regarding achieving maximum diversification in the sales. I will also give you a short intro about this in the next slides. So SetupPL consists of Polish and German experts and practitioners from all fields of e-commerce, and there are some former and current sellers and also lawyers and logistics and marketing experts within us. And we focus on omnichannel, as I've mentioned, and we do it so much that we also organized in last year a international conference in Krakow, which was only devoted to this topic, and that's the BeOmni conference. This year, for obvious reasons, the conference couldn't take place. So in April, we went online by organizing weekly webinars called BeOmni Live. So among the speakers and representatives were already German marketplaces like eBay, Real.de, and also Polish marketplaces like Allegro and many other interesting guests. You're very welcome to join us every Thursday at 11. And of course, some recordings are also on YouTube. In cooperation with Händlerbund, the German Association of Online Retailers, which is the largest of its kind in Europe, we are co-publishers of the first Polish language news service on German and European e-commerce. Just another short thing about us: we are now currently extending our competences to further continents, but today's webinar is about Poland and Germany, so let's focus on these two countries. So as mentioned, we are multinational. The leaders and founders are multinational, our team is multinational, and our customers are multinational. And that's what we support our customers in multinationalization and in expanding their businesses into the other country. And why is it worth having people at least on both banks of the Oder River? Well, as globalization continues and differences seem to be fading away, there are still some issues which make it really worth having people in both countries, as has been already mentioned by the previous speakers. And that's something caused by you only have you only have the possibility to connect and network natively with the businesses and business networks, such as, for example, ITCorner and industry players in both countries, if you have a team or at least some representatives on both sides. And also, as mentioned, team building. With an international team, you, especially in marketing and e-commerce, in the e-commerce branch, you know how to better reach and satisfy the customers in the country you want to target. And of course, a larger range, because being visible in both countries or in several countries, you automatically increase your range and have the chance to have more customers notice you and maybe be your next customer. And this strategy proves to have been working well for us. We have a huge solution network in both countries, a lot of partners and networks we are cooperating with, and because we can't do everything by ourselves, and that's why we chose the way to have partners in both countries. So what do we do for our customers? We kind of, in short, we help Polish Allegro sellers to sell on Amazon and Amazon sellers to sell on Allegro. But yeah, of course, the journey isn't that simple, and in reality, it may seem a bit complicated, as you can see now. But this is actually what omnichannel sales is about. Just like on stock market, sales channels should also be diversified, and that's mostly, or that's at least an example of how it looks like with one of our customers. And that's the way it looks from a Polish customer, and of course we do the same way around. And with, for example, a German customer who is also already active on Western European markets, we encourage them and help them to start sales on, for example, Allegro or other marketplaces in Central or Eastern Europe. And the complexity of omnichannel sales can easily be handled by using a powerful tool. And as we are the partner of Plentymarkets in Poland, we all, of course, suggest using Plentymarkets for this, which there are several reasons, among of course, being the leading ERP, WMS, and CRM system for e-commerce marketplace sales in the DACH region. And very close and tight connections to marketplaces, which makes them being the beta testing solution in regard of new solutions on marketplaces like eBay or Amazon. And yeah, there of course had been some difficulties when we started introducing this German tool or Western European tool onto the Polish market. And those difficulties are kind of common with what our customers experience when they expand. It's the legal requirements, it's the information obligations towards consumers, it's the payment methods, languages, delivery methods, logistic solutions, and of course, existing ERP systems. And these points you can see on the slide now, they actually are everybody's problem who wants to extend to their business to another country. And we have somehow managed to we have managed these difficulties and challenges because they were mainly caused by certain still existing differences between the Polish and German markets, and even being market leader in Germany required to prepare several solutions, even from scratch for the Polish market. And such difficulties, they were caused by, for example, nuances like the fact that German e-commerce sellers, they usually have contracts directly with the shipping providers like DHL, for example. And in Poland, sellers usually used to have some kind of intermediary shipping brokers who provide the shipping and logistic services for them. And as more and more Polish sellers and retailers become convinced to Plentymarkets and its functionalities, more and more solutions and integrations for the Polish market emerge. So this is also something we have overcome by close cooperation with several Polish software houses, and many of our customers have have built their own solutions and plugins and integrations. So we are increasing the integration with pure Polish solutions, like for example the Poczta Polska as the Polish national post operator, or Polish ERP system like, for example, the Comark ERP, or some bookkeeping softwares like Subject, for example. And not only our customers and the Plentymarket users benefit from our Polish-German cooperation, but also, of course, the Polish software houses who are able to create the plugins and integrations for Plentymarket users. So if you're interested in such solutions and building such solutions, because there are still some Polish tools and marketplaces which are not integrated yet, if you're interested, just hit me up and we will give you some information about what still can be done for Polish and German Plentymarket users. And one other thing which is very important to us as a Polish-German company in our Polish-German multinational corporation is educating and informing customers, but not only customers, just also the general viewers and readers of our several informational channels. And for example, on ecommercenews.pl, we inform about legal obstacles and reasons for troubles for Polish sellers who are active in Germany. But we do also take place in several conferences, and together with our partner Händlerbund, we also do some education about the Polish market and obligations for German businesses when entering the Polish market. So many of our partnerships started with the publication of a guest article on e-commerce news PL, or with a lecture at our conference, or participating at one of our webinars. So if you're eager to also be part of this network, just let me know, hit me up, and maybe you will be one of our next guest authors on ecommercenews.pl. So the forms of cooperation I've presented today allowed us to overcome many of the minor or major problems in Polish-German cooperation. I hope, yeah, this little interview overview was interesting to you and in such short time. And yeah, please feel free to contact me, and let's connect on LinkedIn. Yeah, thank you, Jakub and ITCorner for organizing the event today, and thanks for having me, and thanks for your attention.
Thank you, Nikolai. Don't go anywhere, because we have still like few minutes of Q&A section. So I've sent you two questions before the meeting, but I think that what comes to me after you all guys presented today is the question: is it really important in this Polish-German cooperation to be language? I don't know the word. To speak German and Polish, both, and because as I can see, you, Nikolai, you have experience in Poland and Germany. You were raised in Germany. You were born in Poland. You, Paweł, you had your studies in Germany. Andreas, of course, you were born in Germany, but you are now living in Poland. So, how much important it is today to have this know-how and knowledge in your company, to have those both languages, Polish and German, within your teams and within your managerial staff? Andreas?
This fits a bit also to a question from the audience.
Yes.
Magdalena Wipper, she was asking if it's necessary having a German company for German customers, and this fits to that. I don't think we need nowadays a GmbH for the German market. Also, I don't think it gives us more credibility outside Germany, like we are GmbH and we go to France or Denmark. I don't see that. However, it helps definitely talking German as a mother tongue. This gives definitely credibility, and this helps us in the German market at least to come along. And honestly, it's vice versa. Me personally, I was not able to get any customer in Poland as a non-Polish raised person. And today, also my sales manager I have, he does not allow me to go to any Polish client because I might spoil. So from that perspective, I think it's an advantage having the mother tongue of the country where you want to go to.
Okay, thank you. Paweł?
Well, I'm 100% sure that this is a great advantage to speak German or speak fluent. This language helps a lot, but this is also another topic that the language is one thing, but understand the culture and have this ability to speak with people about their culture, things, stuff that happens in media, etc. This is also another things that could bring you value in case you are doing business in industries that are strong, built on relationship. And if you communicate the same language is one thing, but additional extra will be if you communicate the same language in German, and also you understand the typical German jokes or typical what happens in a sport, or where is the difference between Irish and German language, or why a lot of people don't like Bayern Munich, this kind of stories that maybe are pretty not connected with the business, but it helps you a lot to build a relationship. In fact, if you are doing a business in industry that are based on relationship, if you are make business that is only based on your product, it will be enough if you have translate everything in like a brochure or whatever in German. But also the question is, it depends on the industry. In some industry, there are a lot of people, especially in the decision maker, that are not fluent in English. So in this case, could be a big blocker. But the new generation, and also this example that I give is very limited, but it exists. But in general, if you speak English, you will also to the business as well. I remember 10 years ago, maybe it was not the same to build a company in Germany without German language. Now this is not a big deal. That's also is a sign of time changing this behavior.
Okay, thank you, Nikolai. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, maybe some short notes. Yeah, I would say it is different for B2C and B2B relations. I mean, we in e-commerce, we are very involved in B2C, and there it is really important to have like perfect product descriptions in the language of where we want to target our customers. And also the issue with whether you have to have a company or a branch in Germany, it is useful to create trust in B2C. But in B2B, we are observing also that it is becoming less and less like important whether you are based in Germany or in Poland. The trust is much bigger in B2B. And yeah, the language, I mean, English is fine, and the level of the speaking English in Poland and Germany is, I would say, similar. But of course, it's always best to have someone who speaks the national language. Yeah, that would be my thoughts about it.
So we have Andreas left, but I don't know if he has something to add. Yeah, you are now on.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Everything is said, so yes, I have the same.
Yeah, so well, the reason that I was asking this question is that from my experience, I've heard from many people that there are certain areas of Germany when you cannot do business without speaking German, and in certain areas like Berlin, and we have a very close connection to SIBB from Berlin, a cluster from Berlin. English is just is enough to go there. Of course, it depends on the industry. Of course, it depends on with whom you are meeting at the time. But yeah, I was curious if maybe it is changing now, right now, when we have more and more international cooperation going on, and people actually are mainly doing this in English, because still this is now the international cooperation language. But okay, so maybe guys, I have one other question, because I wanted to ask you what are the key aspects of success to cooperate between Polish and German companies. But I think we had a lot of examples. For instance, to have a company in 2 countries, or to have a knowledge of culture and to have a knowledge of industries. But I was thinking about, what do you think is going to happen in 2021? So especially when we are not going to be able to travel so much. As you, Pavel, mentioned, it is very important to have this first impression made by maybe offline, not online. I see that one of our guests commented that he is more likely to meet people on online conferences. But maybe the question, because as we know from statistics, the international cooperation in terms of money, the Poland now is Germany is one of the most important business partners for Polish companies. So, and we are also being more and more important for Germany. So I was thinking, what do you think is going to be the 2021, especially we don't know what the COVID is going to develop, what will happen in this area.
So you're asking about face-to-face meetings, correct?
Yeah. Yes. What are?
Okay. Well, in this autumn, a month ago, we had the first time in customer onboarding without any physical meeting before. It was weird for us as well. We didn't experience this before. And it's working so far, but in my opinion, even after the pandemic, we will see at least the idea that, let's say, for a kickoff or also for regular review meetings, not all of them, but regular ones, from time to time, it's useful seeing the customer or seeing face-to-face the customer. I mean, now we see them also, but online. I guess it gives still some more trust and better relation than having only online everything. Maybe there's also, again, a difference between B2B and B2C. I'm mainly talking here about B2B. And at least we try to establish in the future, again, a bit more personal contact. However, the experience right now is there. It is working mainly remotely. And honestly, even the onboarding, which was a bit surprise for us.
Okay, thank you. Pavel?
Well, I already mentioned in my presentation that, in my opinion, this face-to-face meeting is something that is important in established relationships, and especially for several industries. This will not go. I'm not sure if it will be possible next year, but I think a lot of people missing it. I know that there are some ways to do it without contact, but as I spoke with clients or with also people that I'm working with, they are missing this face-to-face contact. So I think there will be a way that they forced to do it, or if it will be really forbidden or whatever, there will be a technology behind maybe that make it possible. And on my last slide in my presentation, I get this, it was a virtual reality glasses that are for games. But anyway, maybe this is also a way that this world will move, that you will have, now we are sitting in front of a computer, but maybe in few years there will be a kind of glasses and we feel like we are a real audience. You can come to someone, you know, pick your dress from maybe in this situation, the industry also of clothing will change, that you will not buy Armani and Hugo Boss in a shop, but you will buy an application that is made to look like you're dressing in Armani or Hugo Boss. I don't know. This is maybe the future. As I mentioned, some of this questions that you said are answered in my presentation, so maybe you can share it later.
But what about this one very important thing of being on the conference or the after parties? What you are going to do to replace them, because this could be extremely hard.
Well, this is, in my opinion, is very difficult, but it's possible. It's still possible. But I even organized my birthday this year as an online party. Invite all my colleagues in front of computer. Everyone get a bottle or whatever they drink, and we start to converse. But this is, of course, not the same. This is only something that give you a kind of feeling that you are with these people, and this feeling is only limited. In my opinion, this is very difficult to replace. And even if this organizer of trade fairs try to do it this after party as good as possible, I had the problem to get this feeling. I try to like it. The other thing is, if you are doing the trade fair for the whole day, sitting, not walking, you are also tired. On the conference, you are tired on different mood, but later if you go on the after party, you get the new power because of different factors. If you sit all the time in the office and then you need to make a fake after party, I saw that this is not too much power on this inside these people. That's my feeling.
Thank you. So guys, 10 minutes. It is 1:10 p.m. So I think we can go to the end, slowly go to the end of our meeting. If you anyone of the guests have any other questions, please feel free to type it down here. If not, we will be finishing it for today. So I cannot see anyone. So guys, thank you very much, and thank you for being here today, sharing your knowledge, taking your time to be with us, and thank you our guests, and I hope we will see at the end of this month. We still don't have a date, but I think this will be the end of this month or the beginning of the next month. We will talk more with Finnish partners and Finnish companies. And yeah, that's all. Thank you once again, and see you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us. Have a good day.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.